What do you think of the X-Men cast? Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite? Let's talk about it.
I think my favorite is Maya Boyd.
Yeah.
And
Fabulous.
I just
Coy.
wanted to make sure I have a storm bias. I wanted to make sure I meant it before I said it out loud. I think my favorite is Maya Boyd because I think a theater-trained, unknown one has to have the most incredible audition in order, not because of the casting director being like, no, you need credits, but the other reason, the casting director only has the audition to go on. I don't think people think about the amount that goes into people's association with an actor. When you audition, if you've got 10 years of resume, that's 10 years of association and footage and connotation and like familiarity. We don't realize how much that we think we know people because of seeing them in movies. If you come in and you've got no credits and you've been on stage, someone might have seen you for 10 hours total if they've seen 5-year plays. Like there is no amount of time that you would have, and then your 3 minutes has to be the most gangster shit ever. So that means that Maya Boyd brought in an audition that made up for years of association an actor might have, delivered on that, has the physicality of a dancer, has the physicality of someone that does ballet.
Her dancing videos are fucking nuts. They're nuts.
And she's gonna be in the air on wire work wielding storms?
Yeah.
She's gonna be a goddess of the skies? She's 23, so I could see her being young. We could do the stuff in Cairo, Egypt. We can do the stuff in Kenya. We can make an ascent from claustrophobic girl stealing to goddess of the skies. There is no more cinematic character in the history of comic books than a girl that goes from the streets to goddess by going from claustrophobia to wielding the skies. It is literally the arc of dreams, and it's a character that's actually got nuance and interesting things to say in a world of 2026 when we have to have the conversation about like what the fuck. It is perfect, and I think she's great. I think she has the look. I think she has the gravitas. I think she has the personality. I think she has the like will. Like watching videos of her, I'm like, she's got that. And that I think is like, and it's funny because it's the one I'm like, I can only watch Instagram clips. Like, I can't watch game tape. And I'm more excited for that than anything else yet.
I completely agree.
Is that your number one?
That was my number one.
That's been our number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Samara Weaving also.
But it feels so like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
It's like Jason Momoa.
Yeah. But I think it'll work out better. But I think it's interesting, Samara Weaving, when it was announced, I was like, I can 100% see that. Yep. Next thought. Like my brain just went like,
it was like,
good.
Okay, we checked that box.
Yeah. Like whenever I think about it,
Maya Boyd's like, check, and then like, whoa,
I'm gonna
like a
mull
bigger
this
check.
over for a while.
Yeah.
I think the only one I'm a little, I don't have a worst in the traditional sense that I think it's wrong, but I have one that it made me change everything I expected out of the character.
You're gonna make it happen for me.
Christopher Abbott.
Ooh.
Charles, right?
I think that's the most
that's what I thought you were
different that they could have gone. Because Xavier exudes a welcoming leadership spirit that then turns and you go, oh, I pissed off Teach. And it makes you feel the duality of man that leads to Onslaught, that leads to like more understanding of his friendship with Magnus, that it opens that door. With Christopher Abbott, that door is wide fucking open. That man is exuding darkness. That man just has this stern.
I want him to be more welcoming.
And I don't see that.
Yeah.
So like the only one that makes me go, oh, this isn't your daddy's Xavier. It's a different thing than we've ever seen. Because Patrick Stewart is like, well, we printed out a comic book and we got this guy. Yeah. And then McAvoy is like, hey, we're doing the 70s. I'm gonna like he shaved his head and they were like, fuck, we needed you with hair, and they had him wear a wig. That's how McAvoy, like fun, and like they made it more McAvoy to evolve into Charles. This one, I don't see Charles, but I see an actor that is such a thespian. I think he brought stage play elements to Wolfman. Like Wolfman, love the movie or hate it, felt like a play as a movie. And that is a really hard line to walk, where you're doing like theater acting on a screen with Julia Garner, and it's about like turning into a wolf, but you manage to make it grounded but huge. And I think that's what's going to be interesting about Xavier is all these actors are like theater trained. And of all of them, not having seen Maya on stage, I think of Christopher Abbott as like a theatrical guy. So him as Xavier is so different than anything else I'd think of. Like obviously Patrick Stewart, very theatrical, McAvoy can be, but they do it in a way that's warm and welcoming. Right. When I think Christopher Abbott, I think dark, foreboding, theater, like fucking, he would have been a good Snape.
Yeah.
I don't think a Snape and Xavier alike.
Yeah.
So like he's a very interesting
It's
one.
the way, we talked about this last week, Ian McDermott, the way he plays Palpatine.
Yes.
He's a theater actor, and when he's like conniving as Palpatine in the prequels.
Yeah.
But then also how big he can be, but still so evil. That's the theater like repertoire that you get
100%.
with getting these theater kids, these theater actors. My biggest question mark with Christopher Abbott is you still went that young for Xavier. He's only 40.
Yeah.
When you look at like what McAvoy is playing prime, like 20s Charles Xavier in First Class.
He was 32. I looked it up.
He was 32. It's so close in age.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is the guy starting Xavier School
Yeah.
for gifted youngsters, and he's only 40. And we know the camera. I mean, sure they could age him up, but I don't think they're going to. And I get wanting to get a guy that can play Xavier for 15 years and not kill him 100 times.
Yeah, thanks.
But like, that is the thing where that was my biggest question mark. I'm like, what are they doing that he is almost as young as these fucking
And
kids?
Sinister's 42. Adam Driver's 42. He's 40. I think the X gene activation was recent, and I think that there's going to be outliers. I think Wolverine's going to be an outlier when they bring him in. Hopefully not until the third movie, so movie later. But I think that
I don't think they ever do Wolverine.
I think there's money on the table. I think
he's too popular.
Yeah, there's no
He's
way
too
they're like,
popular.
we don't want $1 billion on a Thursday.
Yeah,
like they're
no.
going to make money.
You think?
Yeah, he's way too popular.
I think they're terrified of recasting Hugh.
I think that they know that it will inevitably happen, and it needs to be while X-Men are like I think as the star rises, they'll need to like throw in their fucking. How do you do something bigger than X-Men? You do X-Men Wolverine. Like it's ascending.
I don't know. I totally could see a world where they don't do them.
I think we get them within the
why?
first 3 movies. I
They're
still
not
think
going
it
to
should
do
be
the
a
most
show.
popular X-Men character.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I think they're terrified of Hugh.
They're
Hugh's-
less terrified of not making money.
Yeah. And I also, like, they can... The beauty of Hugh Jackman is he's such an incredible Wolverine in his take. The cool thing is, it's actually the first time it's been a benefit. He's so unlike Wolverine in the comic books, they can do a different take on Wolverine that is so different that people won't compare them. It's like James Bond. Like, when you've got someone as iconic as Pierce Brosnan, you go Daniel Craig. Like, the point is, what are the things that make Bond Bond, and how do we play it as completely different as possible while still being true? It's why Absolute Batman's so successful. If you told me 10 years ago that Absolute Batman would be a book about Batman without money, I'd be like, that's not fucking Batman, fuck you. And then I read it and be like, holy shit, blue collar Batman works because every single other element except money is true to Batman, and somehow it feels like Batman. Hugh Jackman is about as far as you can stretch from Wolverine while still being Wolverine because he's so committed, because he found the truth in his version of the character. The beauty of recasting Wolverine is you've got a way more accurate Wolverine out there somewhere that is so different than Hugh Jackman that allows both to be independently true.
All right, we got
Do you guys have a worse, Christopher Abbott? Do you have
No,
Mine is the age thing.
Okay, I didn't know if there was another one. You guys
my
had.
worst is Adam Driver. What do you think of Adam Driver?
Dude, SNL Adam Driver is a fucking sassy diva, gene manipulating, old timey. He's gonna fucking cabaret in this bitch.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think Adam
I like
Driver
him.
is like, I'm picturing Marriage Story meets SNL, and that's fucking like Mr. Sinister. He has cloned himself and inhabited entire worlds with just Jean Greys because he's so obsessed with Jean, and we only have Jean Grey in the MCU so far. So we're gonna have a guy that's obsessed with our first X-Man. We're gonna have a guy that's like dedicated to gene manipulation when so far the only thing we've got is DODC kind of doing the same shit. It's going to allow for a very different take than the philosophical musings of Magneto versus Xavier. It's going to be an actual direct villain. I think making Mr. Sinister such an efficient villain allows for more time for the X-Men to actually grow in nuance. Because you're bringing in 5 X-Men from jump minimum, and that means you're needing time with them. So Mr. Sinister is a fucking bad guy. We can have a mustache twirling because of the absurdism of the character, and I think Adam Driver is able to bring gravitas to being silly and bring silly to gravitas. Like, the dude is able to play levity when it wouldn't work, but he's also able to be so fucking captivating and terrifying. I think he's going to surprise people as like, oh, that just made sense.
Yeah.
He's going to be, I think, so good. He's
Yeah,
also fucking 18 feet tall.
Yeah,
Looks like him.
yeah.
And that chest?
He can be scary.
That dude looks crazy shirtless.
Yeah.
But when he said at D23, he was like, "Oh, I'm playing Nathaniel Milbury." Isn't that the most serious form of? Isn't that one of the most serious variants of Mr. Sinister?
I think we're going to meet him that way, and it's going to be, I think what I would do is if we meet Nathaniel Essex as a geneticist, a man of science, and you assume like, well, he's at least understanding of the mutant condition. And then you meet clones of him that get progressively more insane because, like Plato's The Cave, the more you remove the source, the more it removes itself from the actual heart of what that art is. I imagine each clone and each ascendant from Nathaniel is going to get crazy.
You think they're going heavy clones here?
Oh, yeah, and I think
even
we're going to
after the
scale
multiverse saga and even after the Kang disaster
With
and everything,
a
I think
singular
they would
character,
want to.
yes.
I think that they would want to separate from that.
I think with a character, it's not like variants. It's not also not. We haven't had clones. We've had multiverse.
I know, but it's the same shit for general audiences. You know what I'm saying?
But I think seeing two
Like
Adam
all
Drivers,
the Deadpools and Deadpool Wolverine.
that's the closest comp.
So this is my point. I think general audiences by 2028 are going to be over it. After we got Secret Wars, and Secret Wars, we're seeing all three Spider-Man on
100%.
on screen again.
But we haven't seen one guy play opposite himself, multiple characters, to a scale that feels absurdist, except for the post-credit scene with Kang, and that didn't work out. So I think there's an opportunity. Because Deadpool's are
This
masked,
is exactly my point. Is I think they're scared of that. I've disagreed with you two things.
That's okay. I like it because we're civil about it.
Where it's I just genuinely Marvel. Now maybe this will change if Doomsday is a huge success. But Andrew and I talked about this last week. We talk about this all the time. Marvel used to have fucking cojones. You know, they used to walk around and they were like Guardians after credit scene. Howard the motherfucking Duck.
Yeah.
Like they were like, fuck you in your Black Widow movie. Fuck you in your Black Panther movie. Fuck you in your Nova movie. We're doing a Howard the fucking Duck is what we're doing. We've got balls. That's what they used to do.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, Ryan Gosling, big movie star, wants to be Ghost Rider. Let's sign him the day of.
Fantastic Four made $500 million. They don't have the bank for balls.
This is my point. They have no hubris right now. They have no confidence.
But that's why they're getting to win again.
They are terrified.
I think they're playing the hits, like I said, and I think they need to for a bit. And then with something as guaranteed as X-Men, you get your balls back. I think you need, like, X-Men is going to be the launch of the reballification. Right. And I think that we're going to see it make the money it needs to, launch a universe it needs to, without having to worry about crazy swings because it's the X-Men. Like, that movie is going to make money, and that movie is going to do well, and that movie is going to launch a universe, and that means that it can be real weird in it because the X-Men are weird. Like, you can't have a straight-laced guy as a villain of the X-Men. So I think announcing Nathan Milbury is intentionally like, what a choice, because it's going to end up being Nathaniel Essex. Like, I'm not saying there's going to be 100 clones. I'm saying there could be. There could be 5. There could be 2. But it's going to end with a much more insane take on the character. And I think we'll meet him normal. And I also think that's why you cast Adam Driver. That guy can play, you know, not Paddington or what the fucking like, straight-laced, like, white noise. Patterson. That guy can play Patterson. That guy can also play, like, his characters in SNL. Like, that's why you do that.